Yeah. Good evening, everyone. We're on Masechet Nazir on Daf Daled Amud Beis. So we've seen basically last week just masaking the Gemara a little bit. We saw the Gemara says in the beginning of the Amud, the Gemara wants to defend the Machlokes Rabbi Yudah and Rab Shimon. Right? We saw Machlokes Rabbi Yudah and Rab Shimon. Basically, Rabbi Yudah says the Nazir Shimshon is mutali tamal emeisim. Rab Shimon says a person says Arini Nazir Shimshon. It's going to shoot nisht. Why? Because we don't find by Nazir Shimshon sheyotza Nazir mipiv. So what do we learn? That Rabbi Yudah, lefi Rabbi Yudah, even though Shimshon was not Mazir himself, Afal Piken he could be Mazir himself with the Nazirus. Lefi Rabbi Shimon, because the Nazir Shimshon it didn't come al yedei neder, a person cannot be Mazir himself. The Gemara wants to depend this on the Machlokes Rabbi Yudah, Rab Shimon, and the Machlokes Tanoim, what legabe dover hanidar. Right? He's learned that someone is noider is matfiz as neder, and he says kebechoyer. So Rabbi Yaakov astas and Rabbi Yossi is matir because ish ki ido neder, at sheido bedover hanodu. Lichoyer Rabbi Yudah says like Rabbi Yaakov that what legabe nedorim. So you need the dover. You don't need the dover hanidar. Rab Shimon who says you need the dover hanidar, and Rabbi Yossi who says you need the dover hanidar. The Gemara zoichet no. Everyone needs a davar nidar over here. Legabe the din of Rabbi Yaakov al that you can be matfis another bechor because it says in the parsha nedorim la Hashem we meraber bechor. Rabbi Yossi says that la Hashem we need it for chatos and oshon to be matfis. It says the Gemara ma roisot to be meraber chatos and oshon to be moitzi the bechor. So the Gemara ma bani chatos also shekei matfis beneder moitzi the bechor shei matfis beneder. And Rabbi Yaakov is going to tell you bechor also you matfis beneder. As we learned the Beis Rabbeinu say. Where do we know someone had a bechor is a mitzvah to be magdish? We learn it from Hazochor Takdish. And we learn it from Hazochor Takdish that you have to be magdish the neder. And we learn it out from as well from many different limudim, as the Gemara says. And the Gemara brings down the Masechet with Shimon HaTzadik. Right? The Gemara says that Hashem, lefi them we need it for the Masechet of Shimon HaTzadik. What? Miyomai lo yochalti, he says, Miyomai lo yochalti. From Nazirus, chutz from this person who came to the Azorah, and as we learned the Masechet of Shimon HaTzadik. So let's see again the Gemara inside of Shimon HaTzadik, and then we're going to go back a little bit to Misak in the Sugya. Log the Gemara. Log the Gemara. So Ahu mi boile lekedetanya. That means the La Hashem. The Gemara is asking beforehand, legabe Nazir. Wo steht ish ki yafli lindo neder. Nazir Lazir LaHashem, and we merabe lefi Rabbi Yaakov also we should be merabe lefi them. Nazir Shimshon, we should be merabe Nazir Shimshon. So the Gemara answers, "Ahu mi boyele lekeretani." That LaHashem we need it for a different brayso. So basically, let's a little bit go back into the sugya. The sugya over here. So if you look at Tosis Dima Machil Olecha Kosovoy Lazir LaHashem, that's on the same line. Yeah, if you want to see it in the Gemara. The Gemara goes back to what we learned before. Gemara learned that Rabbi Yaakov is the one that says that the Nazir Shimshon is chal. Right? The Gemara wanted to depend on Rabbi Yudah and Rab Shimon, and the Gemara proves that Rabbi Yaakov says that the Nazir Shimshon is chal. Why? Because neder and the bechor it says La Hashem. Because the neder and the bechor it says La Hashem. Pashas the Gemara understands as from the word La Hashem. What says by nedorim we learn out to be merabe bechor. Only with bechor, that's what it's a mitzvah to be magdish. And why? Why you should be merabe more than that? Because tofasto meruba loy tofasto. And don't be merabe now anything, right? Dover also that's not nidar. This word from the La Hashem, what says the Gabi Nazirus, we are merabe afilu Nazirus Shimshon, that it's not a dover nidar bechlal. It's not dover nidar. Because if not, what comes the pasuk to be merabe? What the pasuk comes to be merabe? If not this. The chidush is, what do we learn? What do we merabe from the word La Hashem? What do we merabe from the word La Hashem? Something that is ke'ein b'choil. What is ke'ein b'choil? B'choil is a davar anodu. What's a davar anodu? Nodu k'tzas. There's a mitzvah, zochor tagdish. There's a mitzvah to be magdish. It's called a davar anodu k'tzas. But not to be merabe is something that's not nodu b'chlal. That's what we merabe. That is one way to understand the Gemara. Someone understand the Gemara lefi Tosis a little bit different. Lefi Tosis, lefi the lashon of Tosis and the Gemara in the Dorim. We learned it. We mentioned it last week. Rabbi Yaakov himself learns out his merabet from the word La Hashem. The word La Hashem, what we learn legabe nedorim, That's called davar also, not davke b'choil. Any davar also, and lo davke b'choil. We're merabe from the word Lashem. And that's what the Gemara is going to ask now. The Gemara is asking now lefi Rabbi Yaakov. Lefi Rabbi Yaakov. And that's what we learned last week in the Toyses inside. We're medayik that that's the shaila over here, that the Toyses is meduyek, that the shaila is lefi Rabbi Yaakov. So we should be marbe from the word Lashem, what says Gabi Nazir, that we can also be noider Nazirus, but davar also, for example. Nazirus, Shimshon, the davar also, no, davar another. And the same like we merabe from the word LaHashem, or say Gabi Nedorim, anything was davar also. The same thing like Gabi Nazirus, let's be merabe davar also. That is the way the Pashas, the Mashmos of Toyses. Frekt Rabbi Akiva Eiger on the Toyses that the shaila is lefi Rabbi Yaakov. That Toyses is in the Fugah. The shaila over here, the Gemara is lefi Rabbi Yaakov. Right? Legabi Nazir nami oksiv LaHashem. If we look at the Toyses, we saw it last week. No, come on, let's see in the Toyses inside. Dibra Masechet Legabi Nazir oksiv LaHashem. V'chiyeiche demar beRabbi Yaakov b'chol miLaHashem. Ochenami nar beNazir Shimshon miLaHashem oksiv beNazir. Right? They're very, very posh. That's what Toyses learns. And we learn now that the shaila is of Rabbi Yaakov. Frekt Rabbi Akiva Eiger on Toyses. The shaila of the Gemara is lefi Rabbi Yaakov. Also lefi Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Yossi who said that you're not matfiz the point. It's not because he does in the Pasuk LaHashem. It's because he does in the Pasuk that you're matfiz the chatas also. We just said in the Gemara. We just were stuck in the Gemara, right? What did Rabbi Yaakov say? Yes, Rabbi Yossi, sorry. Rabbi Yossi says you need the LaHashem just what to be matfiz, to be merabah, that you can be matfiz chatas and osham. Just what you darshan it on matfiz chatas ve'osham. And for sure, by your Nazir, not shaykh chatas ve'osham. So let's say that you can't be merabe afilo Nazir or Shimshon. Azay Frekt Rabbi Akiva Eiger. Now, lefi what we said last week, and okay, so let's see the Gemara. Let's see the Gemara. That's the one side of Rabbi Akiva Eiger. Ahu, and for the Gemara, miboy le'lekenatanya. Omar Shimon HaTzadik. Shimon HaTzadik was a Kohen, and he said, Miyomai lo yochalti oshom nazirus. A Nazir, in the end of, if he becomes Tomei, because the Chashash is that the Nazir, when he becomes Tomei, he has Charot Lemafreya on the Neder, on the Nazirus, and because he's Soiser, why he should have Charot? Because he's Soiser the Yom Rishonim, he has to count from the beginning, and Mimele, he brings Chulin Azor if he has Charot. Yeah, so he's Octoisus. Let's see, Toises lo yochalti oshom nazirus, Octoisus, Aval She'ar, Ashom Oisay Yoichel, Aval Oshom Nazir Yokoshe Beinov Lo'ochloi. לפי שאינו בו אלו בנוזר שנתמו. וכיוון שנתמו, הוא יודעק פן נסחרת על נדרוי. This Nazir now is נסחרת על נדרוי. And שהיום הראשונים לא הפלינו מי ויחולין בעזור. אז זה זוג this is based on the Gemara in the Dorim, דף תסעמד בייס. אבל the Gemara says, אומר לרבי יוינו, היינו תיימק, שאין, שאין ויטמין ורבין עלי ימי נזירוס. נסחרתי בהם ונמצאו מבין חולין לעזור. אז זה זוג the Gemara over there. If we look at the Gemara of Testament base in Nedorim. Venimtzo mevim chulin la'azoreh. Says over there the Ran. I'm reading out the Ran over there. The Ran says straight away mevim chulin la'azoreh. Lav davke says the Ran. Shekol zman shelo yitiron chochom nezirus al kayemes. Why is chulin la'azoreh? Toys explains over here, yeah, just that's the Makor of Toys. I'm just going to the Makor of Toys. Toys says over here, why the Shimon HaTzadik did not eat Asham Nazirus? Because they have Charote. Frek the Ran, why it's called Chulin La'azoreh? This is not Chulin La'azoreh. Mevin Chulin La'azoreh, says the Ran, Lav Davke, Shekol Zman Shelo Yitiron Chochom, Nazirus on Kayemes. V'kol boinu yisayen, Choyva Aleim. אלו כאין חולין כומר, שמתוך שאין כוונוסון רצויו, אף כוונוסיין אינון רצוין. אבל באח גברה שבו מן הדורים, לכלמיך שלוחה, שכיוון שאויסו כוונוסוי כל כך רצויו, בתחילו, ענן סעדה שלא היא נבחרת. עד כאן is דברי הר"ן, the last run in the Testament base, בגמורה in נדורים. That's what the thing. And as I zog the Rosh, say over there and say over here, the Rosh says the same thing, and the Rashba in the Dorim also explains it the same thing. That's what, and he says that's what the Rashba says. But in the end, after he brings the pshatim, the Rashba says "Va'pirushin pirshu." That means they explain, "Show maybe chulin la'azor gomo." Why? Because the Rashba says what's the shot? He says maybe they do it like a nidrish gogois. It's a nidrish gogois because he thought he could be mekabel the Nazirus, and the Maisa he can't. As they bring the Rashba b'shem the Peirushin, but the Rashba says it's not thing, and the Meiri, the Meiri, like Taka, and the Meiri also brings this shita, and he says Taka, so don't be a carbon, that's it, and that's why he's doiched this pshat. Nidrish gogois. Nidrish gogois. It's bechal was b'shoigim. Yeah. Yeah. It's a nidrish gogois, and made he thought he could be mekabel the Nazirus, and the Maisa he can't. And if we can see this in the Gemara later. If it depends one the other one, yeah. So it depends one on the other one. I think. But yeah, if it's bottle, it's bottle. So that the Gemara, what Tosis brings away the pshat is mamish the Gemara over there in the dog. Shimon HaTzadik, yes, for sure. Yeah.
They're two different ways.
No, for sure that it's kechulin lazor. And Shimon HaTzadik was machmir on himself. I thought that there was that thing. He was machmir on himself. If you look at the Rosh in I'm going to read it out. The Rosh in the Testament base in the Dorim. The Rosh like that. ונמצא ומביא חולים בעזור, לאו דווקא חולים בעזור, הנדר אינו נקר בחרות אלו על ידי התור הסוחר, אלו כאין חולים בעזור, והוא דינמי דלא יבא אוכל קורבנו יסייבי אחר שמונו נזירוס תאירה, דקרס ישראל לתומוס, היה כאילו נקר נידרוי, ואף קורבנו סוים נזירוס אין כחולים בעזור. אלו נוקת אושום, לפסיקה לי, לפי שאין נוזיר תואר מביא אושום, אבל זה שיוצא לי גומורה וקים לי בי שלא ינסחרת באריך ימי תומוסו. So the Rosh says something very interesting. What says the Rosh? Uadiname de lo yave ochal korbonoiso sheevi achar shemono nezirus tayre. The keva shenischara betumoso yave keilu nekar nidroi. I like the Rosh over here because what he said kein chulim ba'azor, so that's it. The Nazir he brought over here. The Nazir over here is lefi them. In Taka the Chazei David on the Tosefta proves that. He proves like the Rosh because he says that the Meister over here with this Nazir min Adorim definitely was Nazirus Tare. It was not Nazirus Tuma. It was Nazirus Tare, not Nazirus Tuma, as he talked about. What, the Korban? Yes, the same thing. It's the thing. Yeah. Cholin Lazor, Bechlal, Cholin Lazor. Shchutei Chutz. Shchutei Pnim, what you have to be before. It's also, yeah. Says the Gemara. Says the Gemara, Chutz mi Odom Echot Shebo Ilai min Hadorim. Right, is the Maharsho. We mentioned last week, I don't remember, but the Yaakov says that what means min Hadorim, he says from the Lishko Droimis he came. What's the Lishko Droimis Mizrachis? In the Azore, and there's Asnoshim, Lishkas Nazirim. He says min Hadorim means he came from the Lishko Droimis Mizrachis in the Azore, and the Lishkas Asnoshim, that's the Lishko Droimis Mizrachi, that the Nazirim, they cook the Shlomim. So the Korbanos was a pshat. So this fits very good with the Chazei David, what you just said. And if the Rosh, because the Rosh says in the Dorim that this was after the Nazirus Tare. Who brings over then the Lishkas Droimis Mizrachis? Who brings over the Korbanos? The Eila Shlomim, Mishaleach Tachas Adud. Who does all of this? The sale Tachas Adud, yeah. Who does it? Davke Nazir Torah. This fits very good with if we say min Adorim, so the Lishko Droimis Mizrachis, the Nazirim cook over there, the Shlomim, it has to be a Nazir Torah. Nazir Torah, so you can understand the Rosh what we just spoke out. He was Tomei, he counted, and now he brings the Torah. And then after he finished everything, completed everything, because he still has charote from the ganze Sache. It's nekar the neder. And this one, יפה עיניים ורואים וכרתיסו סדור איתו טלטלים. אמרתי לו בני, מה רואיסו לשחס סאו נו זה? אמר לי, רואה אויסי לאובי בעירי. והולכתי לי שמים מן המים, ונסתכלתי בבבוע שלי. Upochas ola itzu bikesh letordeni min oilam. To go after the thing, right? There's pachas kamayim al toisar, right? That's the same lashon of what we find. Omarti loy. I told myself, right? Omarti loy. That's what he said to himself. Reiko. Reiko means, right? Or the lashon and the dorim in the gear says rosha. Rosha. מפני מטו מסגאי באוילום שאינו שלך, שסויף חליו, רימו ותוילאו, האבוידו, אם יקששבוה, שעגלי חכו השמיים. says רב שמעון הצדיק, עמדתי ונשקתי ועל ראשי ואמרתי לו, כמו ישכו ירבו נזירים בישראל. הולך הכוזב ואומר, איש כי אף ללינדר נדר נזיר לעלי השם. That means, the beginning of the neder was the Shem Shomayim לגמרי, and he didn't have any concern that he had charote maybe on the neder, right? Even if he became Tomei. Aber andere Neudri, that b'derech klal, when they do the neder b'shas tzora, or they do it in Avera, that's what they done, right? They have a kapore for that, and when they see that this is going on and on and on and on, and Ayom Rishayim Yiplu, but they have charote, right? That's why, that's the thing. Yeah. The Gemara goes back now to what we said before. And Rab Shimon says, שלא ימוצינו, right? We put on fire, שלא ימוצינו בשמשון שיוצא נזירוס מפיו. So what's Tashma? Even the father could not be Madir and a Nazir, right? As we learned later on in Daf of Ches Omed Beis, and this we're going back to what Michal asked last week. The Gemara says of Ches Omed Beis, the Gemara says about Ish Madir ben Nazir, right? Or Ish Mazir as Benoi ben Nazir. A father could be Mazir. If it was not Madir, right? That's what the Gemara says. Now, what about the father? Says the Gemara, Shimshon lav Nazir have. How could the father of Shimshon be Mazirim? For Ksiv. Steht over there in the Apostle, right? The state over there in the Psukim, the Shoiftim. Vayero malach Hashem alo isho. Ki hi noch yoro, horo, vayoladet bein. Umoiro lo ya'ale al roishoi. Ki Nazir Eloikim ianar min ha-botem. So it says over there that who was Mazir Shimshon? Shimshon was Nizoyer by his father. Now the Gemara understands at the beginning that the Malach, the Kavan of the Malach, that the father should be Madirim in the Nazir when he's going to get born. That's what the Gemara understands now. So what do we see? That Shimshon himself, the Nazir was came by the Neder. That's the shal of the Gemara. Yeah, let's see it in Toisves. Toisves says Shimshon lav nodu rave pirush. Pirush. Lav loy nodu Nazir have. ואוקסיב כי נזיר אלוהיקים יהיה, וכוסל כדאי תוך, שהמלאך הוא יאמר לאובים, שיזירנו לכשייוולד. נכתב לכמונו, איש מדיר בנוי בנוזיר. Yeah, so that's what we see. שיזירנו לכשייוולד. So what's mashma? That the father cannot be Madir's son when he's a Uber, right? Only when he's going to get born. Right? The Meroim Yesod is Medaik over here. That's what Nazir Eloikim here now Mina Poten. The Choyes Mashma that the Uber can be already Mina Poten. Okay. Says the Gemara. So we see that word. And for the Gemara, Osam over there was special. Malach who the Omar over there was special. That that's Benevue. That Shimshon will be a Nazir, but doesn't mean that the father should be Madirim. So,
Yeah, so there was this holiday.
no, because he has all the din in Nazirus. All the din in Nazirus. When okay, so but he has all the din in Nazirus, and he has all the din in Nazirus. How could he be Madirim if it's not? The Havamina was that the Havamina was that the father would be Mazrim. Yeah, that's the Kosar Kedaito. Shamalach o Yoim Elovim sheyazirenu leksheyivolem. This was a special thing. It was a special thing that the Malach was Metzaveim to be Madirim when he's going to get born. Yeah. Yeah. That's a feed the choices you say. The feed the sheet attack will be much better, yeah. The feed the sheet of competitors both on the kills like us, yeah, and our Gemara. And they explained the Gemara much simpler. Because Shimshon was becoming himself the Nazirus, so he's a regular Nazir. So he shouldn't be Metamel amazing. That's the Shaila of the Gemara. And the Teretz says, if he is gerecht, it's a bit schwer, if he is. Yeah.
Does there tend to be addiction to an action of another person?
Yeah, over here we have Oirasha. Yeah.
When we can chance it, doesn't mention trust what is that it's Nabi's predicting state, which is inherent to children.
Yeah, because we're going back. The Gemara says as well. Shimshon was the Havamina. Yeah, Shimshon lav nodu ave pirush. I'm reading out the toises. Lo you know. Ekosar kedai. Just malach oyomer lovi. And the Rasha says alovi. Okay, alovi. Okay, it's a little bit better. Yeah, the Gil says the Rasha. Okay. Yeah. What the Bailey? What? No, the Gemara goes back. The Shaklevitai is Gerech. The Shaklevitai is a little bit difficult, but as we said, the Gemara goes back now to Shimshon. We bought the Emshech of Lashem, and we go back, and the Gemara, and the Shita is also very Gishmak. The Gemara later, the Gemara asks, Umi Nolon, they eat Melamesim, as we just said that it could be Mitam Melamesim. The Gemara says, Umi Nolon, they eat Melamesim. Okay, but what we wanted to get the Sugim, we just learned the Sugim. We learned it last week. We just was mistaken a little bit again. Okay, so we spoke 2 weeks ago. We spoke there's 2 ways to understand about Nazir Shimshon. The first, the first way was that Nazir Shimshon is not a Dover Anodul. Rabbi Yehuda disagrees on the whole deen of Dover Anodul, right? And as we said, the Ma'ari Ben Lev and Chelek Aleph, as we understand, Omer is asking Lefi the Rambam, right? The steer on the Rambam, because mitzad echad the Rambam passes that you're not matzkis but Dover Anodul. Mitzad sheni the Rambam passes like Rabbi Yehuda. That the Nazir Shimshon is Chal. Right? That also the Shidom Kubetzes by us over here, and twice in our daf is asking also this chat, and he's saying that what? It can't be because the Mefush and the Gemara and the Dorim, it's more that Rabbi Yehuda al that you could be matfis only bedover ha nodu. Why? And that's what we said. So we have to say 2 different things. Or Rabbi Yehuda al that what the din of dover ha nodu is only benedorim and not in the Nazirus. Right, and as they state in the Shita Kubetzes, the Shita Chachmei Avirei brings, and Rameir Simche explains it Ba'arichas. Another way to explain it, that Lefi Rabbi Yaakov we merabe a bchor from a special pasuk. The same thing Lefi Rabbi Yehuda we merabe Nazirus Shimshon from the word LaHashem and Nazirus, and as they state in the Rosh, in the first pshat, as we learned over here in the Gemara. Lefi this way, Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Shimon, both of them are masking that when we talk about biyachas the Nazir Shimshon, both of them look at it that what is something that is not on a bchira of a person, as we said, right? It's something that the Torah gave them the koyach. The machloikas is if there's a possibility to take this, the same thing, lefi Rab Shimon, because it's something that's min Torah or show, something that the Rebbeinu said you cannot do copy paste to somewhere else. Lefi Rab Yehuda, even though that this is something that was given one time, you still could copy paste it to somewhere else. That's the fee. That's going to be why? Because maybe the Malach was a came and Gilu Mitzah, Gilu Mitzah here that you could do it. Okay, that's one way to learn the sugya. Another way to learn the sugya is as you're right. Nazir Shimshon is not a dover another. Abel, because Nazirus Tamas and Nazirus is a dover another. Samazai, Nazir is a davar another. But Nazir Shimshon has in it, in the Hagdorah Shaboy, yeah, the essence Shaboy, is a davar another. And as I stated in Meiri, And as I state in Keren Euro, that's the Mahalach of it. What is the Davar Anodu? We just learned now the whole Omet, Davar Anodu, yes, Davar Anodu, Rab Shimon, Rab Yehuda, Rab Yaakov, Be'etzem, we understand now the second way to understand it is that Nazir Shimshon is not Davar Anodu. But because Nazir Stamazoi is a Davar Anodu, so then Nazir Shimshon is also called a Davar Anodu because, as we said, it's under the same umbrella, under the same category. It's the Toiras, and the Toiras Chata, everything is under the same category. But the MS is not a Davar Anodu. But because Be'etzem, let's say, B'derech Klal, Nazir is a Davar Anodu, Melek Tarai Nechet Nazir Shimshon. And that's the Meiri and the Keren Euro. Aber we still have to understand why, because we say that the Stam Nazir is a Davar Anodu, so also Nazir Shimshon turns to be another Davar Anodu. Even that the Nazir Shimshon itself is definitely not Davar Anodu. So in this Svore state the Orach Misha. Orach Misha, the long Orach Misha, what some Halokim we learned from it, some we skip. So over there in Dima Maskil Veda, in Dalet Amid Beis, the Orach Misha is Dr. Very brilliant chat. It's like a very, very interesting chat. Dr. They have it in the end of the Gemara as the chat. Very original chat, he says. Dima Maskil in Dalet Amid Beis. Dr. Azai. Then the thing. Okay, it's a bit of a arichas, I can say it thing. Dr. Azai. Be'emes, when we look at the whole sugya, it starts from the first part. Yeah, V'daber the sugya zu. I'm just going to read it very, very quickly just to get the idea, but then I'm just going to extend it by Alpeh. Okay, it's a beautiful shtickle. You can see it's a very long shtickle. I'm just going to start from the beginning. Yeah, it's the first shtickle on the Dalet base. You found it? Yeah. I just really. I saw it 3 weeks ago, so I'm going to have to. I thought we were going to. Yeah. Look at Azai. V'daber the sugya zu nilu kol anshe chayil. הלא הוא הרי בלב תשובה חלק א' סימן ואחו בכסף משנה פרק ג' מיחס הזירוס דניונים ואחו בעל הטרדיציון פרק א' משנה בית הוא בא לך משנה לרמה פרק ג' מיחס הזירוס והוא it brings a whole list of a thing that is very difficult to understand this sugya. And he comes with a very, very original chat the thing. He says Azoi. Because in the Shaila is Azoi. Right? We understand like the second way we understand. There was 2 ways to understand what the Pshat Nazir Shimshon. Let's go on the second Mahalach. And Nazir Shimshon is even it's not Davar, why it's a Davar Anodu, yeah? He said even Be'em is significant Davar Anodu because it's under the umbrella, as he call it, the category of Davar Anodu. Dr. Azai. A regular Nazirus is in the Klal, as we said, B'derech Klal, but the regular Nazirus, B'derech Klal, it has in it all the Yisurim and all the Dinim that also Nazir Shimshon have. And even more than that, has even more Yisurim than Nazir Shimshon. We're going to see the Emshach HaGemorah, and what Hashem we're going to see next week. It means Nazir Shimshon doesn't have a Tumas mess. A regular Nazirus has all of the Yisurim on Nazir Shimshon, including also Yisur Tumah. That's not, that doesn't have a Nazir Shimshon. Therefore, we could see also Nazir Shimshon that is kolul in the Nazirus. And Mele is like a Davar Hanodu. Now, the Rach Misha proves it from Yesod, from where? That a Shaykhis of a certain Prat, it's a Davar Hanodu. So Mele belongs to the group that defines what is the details of this group is a Davar Hanodu. Where does he prove it from? Chatos and Osham. But the Gemara says that Chatos and Osham, they are considered Davar Hanodu. Why? We spoke about it, we mentioned it last week. But why Chatos and Osham Davar Hanodu? Why? Because you could do a nether. You could do a nether of Nazirus, and then you mischayev a Chatos and Osham. So we see that what, even though the Korbanos Chatos and Osham are not really a Davar Hanodu, because you cannot say Arei Olai Lovi Chatos or Arei Olai Lovi Osham. But because 1 second, because it is a Davar Hanodu, because you could come and give it the Lindo ben Nazirus, and this is Koilel also the Chatos, Mi Meile, the Chatos that's Koilel in it is considered a Davar Hanodu. This is also the same thing, like Gabe, Nazir Shimshon. You're right, the Nazirs itself, you could not be noider. But because you could give it, to be noider, something that's koilel in it, mimele, it's considered a davar another. Now, this thing you can add of it also fits the Rambam. Because the Rambam says that in Chois Nedorim, Perek Aleph Halacha Ches, we saw this Rambam, and the mean of davar also. Says the Rambam, in Nedorim, Perek Aleph Halacha Ches, says the Rambam Azoi. If a person says, Mashe oichal imploini olai kipsar chazir. Arei eilu mutori ve'ein kan neder. Why? Says the Rambam, שאפשר שיעשה דובר שאינו בשר חזיר, כבשר חזיר. הדובר אסור, זה לא דובר נדור. What do we see over there in the Rambam? What's the problem? Matis דובר אסור. So in the Lashon Rambam, if we look at the הרי אלו מותר ואין כאן נדר, why? שאפשר שיעשה דובר שאינו בשר חזיר, כבשר חזיר. Before in the Rambam, that the problem in Matis דובר אסור is that you're unable that the person is unable to do a chalois the same. If a person cannot do a chalois exactly the same, he cannot turn the psach hazir to psach hazir, but he could do a chalois, let's say that's koilelet and more than that. It's a davar another. Why? Because be'etzem it's in the getter that I can't do it. Because I could do even more than that. I could do a Nazir Shimshon, that's Nazir Shimshon even more than that. It's a davar another. As I bring the Rachmisha, that's a raya. Lefi then, yeah, that's it. I can't think. Sorry. We explain it like this. The Rachmisha says that because Dover Hanodu is, and we say in the second chat that Dover Hanodu is all the zeros is Dover Hanodu, right? It's a bchira of a person. I am going to be or not exactly. Even though the Zil Shimshon is not a bad of Davar Nodu, but it's under the same category, it's under the same umbrella of Davar Nodu. How does it work? How does it limit? It says the Achmishoyer, we bought a few rayas. Now let's forget about the rayas, the idea to get of the Achmishoyer, because this itself is koilel all of the Yisurim of a Nazir, and the Nazir is koilel all the Yisurim of Nazir Shimshon, and I feel more than that. The Zil Shimshon does not have 2 millimeters. Nazirus, regular Nazirus, does have a Nazirus. I mean, maybe a regular Nazirus is makish, it's koilel, afilu Nazirus Shimshon. That's the idea. That's it. Yeah.
At the end of the day, you could not give the chatos without leather. So therefore, it's still another.
No, you could go chatos and also you could stam is chiyuv chatos also, but it wasn't a chiyuv. But Nazir, okay. But because you do find, so that's exactly the idea. Because you do find it. So you always call it chatos and also. So say that chatos and awesome.
That can't come. This one shit can't come. Unless you say it's the same thing, just because it's Chalamu makes it the same thing. It's coincidence. That's the same thing.
So you know what? Let's take your thing ahead. Lefi what we just said now, very nice. The Chamisha. Oh, but why Rab Shimon Altas bekenish matfizan Nazir Shimshon lefi them? That means the Chamisha does a certain assumption when he says that in Rab Yude, right? Rab Yude says that Nazir Shimshon could be, you could be noise on Nazir Shimshon, and that Nazir Shimshon be'etzem and Nazirus. What is Nazirus? Nazirus mitoyre, yeah? That's not a person. But only not exactly. That means in that assumption exactly that's what Rab Shimon disagrees. That what? That Nazirus Shimshon does not depend on a person b'chlal. And that Nazirus Shimshon is only Nazirus. That's what? It's a person could do it, a person can't do it. What is it exactly? That means that's all. The machloek between Rabbi Yehuda and Rab Shimon is, and the shaila what we spoke, and we spoke about it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and 5 weeks ago. That means, is Nazir Shimshon is something independent, or it's under the Nazirus min HaTorah? That means, right, Nazirus min HaTorah. The Torah gave us all kind of Nazirus, and part of Nazirus, when the Torah tells the Pashas Nazir, all the Dinei Nazirus, selecting the Mechet Pasha of Nazir Shimshon. Now, could be that Rab Shimon held that what? That it's finished. It's an ayadim. To separate it, independent thing of the Nazir Shimshon. Yes, now let's say. Yeah. Oh, so let's see. That's exactly the machlokes. That's what you're assuming. Now, who doesn't them? That you're right. Rabbi Yehuda and Rab Shimon both agree that what Nazir Shimshon is something the person doesn't have a prire. Minabeten, Benevue, Yetzire, something the Rebbeinu Shalom gesent as a Yetzire. But the other machlokes is how to see it. The yachas between the Nazir Shimshon and the Nazir who state in the Torah. If you Rabbi Yehuda, the Nazir Shimshon is a Nazirus, partially Nazirus. That means, and that's why the same like you could do a regular Nazirus, Kalvachon, you could do also a partial Nazirus. It's a halbe Nazirus. Leumat. Dr. Shimon says, no, the Nazirus Shimshon is a different Nazirus completely. And you can't learn it out from the Nazirus Minatoyre. And that's why you could not create as a sort Nazirus. Let's again be Mesakem. What we're trying to say over here is what we said two different Havonas in Rab Shimon. First of all, that Nazirus Shimshon is Dover also. Right, that's what we understand the Rab Shimon. And therefore, you could not be Noider Nazir Shimshon because it's a Dover also, very simple. Or Nazir Shimshon in Nazirus, half of Nazirus, Mimele was only a Ra Shor. And over here, we could say, no, maybe it was both together. Maybe not. Okay. And that was the two Drochim, what we spoke about. And that's the two Mahalchim. Yes, Michal, you want to add something?
Yeah. What do we do with
Yeah, that's already something else. That's also Nazir Olam. Nazir Olam, everyone agrees that it's a part of the Nazirus, right?
You see there's something in Nazir because
the heter, where comes the heter? So we're gonna see the Emshach Gemara, make a betar, all of these things. Mitam is different than make a betar. Covered all of Saroi. Says it's linked in the Nazirus. Thomas Mays, because he does mechuyev to right the Nazir Olam. It's a thing. No, but he's talking about Nazir Olam. Nazir Olam is making betar. But making betar is normally dinan that we spoke about it. You remember? Somebody dinan. He has a din of tiglachas, but he has a heter once in 3 months, once in 2 years. We can see in the Gemara how long he has it. Nazir Shimshon hat nicht kontum bechlal. It's not that once a year can be mitam elemes. If it was being that, you're right. Even if they say once a year can be mitam elemes, I'm asking. So he's mamish a Nazir. The way we see, it's a different type of Nazir because he's not in this category. He's not on the Nazirs. Which chumrah? Because he's a Nazir Olam. That's why he can't be making a betar. A normal Nazir can't be making a betar. He's just a Nazir Olam. A Nazir Olam. A Nazir b'derech kol shloshim yoyim. For 30 days he can't be making a betar. Because the Ois Nazir is making a betar. He's not a betar. But let's go a third mahalach. Third mahalach. Let's start with the sheet of Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda, he disagrees on Rabbi Shimon. Be'etzem the Agdore of what is Nazir Shimshon. The Nazir Shimshon itself. What is Nazir Shimshon? Anything. Lefi Rabbi Yehuda, this Nazir Shimshon, what we're talking about, is a Dover Anodu. And even though, what? Dover Anodu? How can you say Dover Anodu, right? Because it's before that the Malach was Metzave, the Nazir will be, how can you say the Dover Anodu? You can say it 2 different ways. It's a Dover Anodu. So let's start with the Malach of the Kesef Mishnah. Kesef Mishnah, Nazirus, Peregimel Aloch Yud Gimel. Says the Kesef Mishnah, I'm going to tell you how it's a Dover Anodu. You want to know how? The Malach didn't really create the Nazirus of Shimshon. The Malach didn't create it. This what? The Malach commanded Manoyach to be Mazir Shimshon. Not like Toises. Toises is the Na'ara minute. They must call it Nishna. But yeah, I don't learn the Kesef Mishnah. And Mitzad Adin Nazirus, that means Mitzad Adin Nazirus. He told them, I want you to be Mazir She'azirenu L'Kshe'ivolet. Just learn the Toises and the Na'ara minute. L'Kshe'azirenu Le'ivolet. And this Be'etzem relies on the Mishnah later on. Av Madir is Benoi Benazir. And as they state in the Rosh over there, the Rosh over there state as in the Pshat, in the third Pshat, the Rosh and the third Pshat, and as they learn the Kesef Mishnah. So why it's a Davar Anodu? Because the Malach didn't create a Nazirus. The Malach just told Noach, I want you to think. Another way to explain why it's a Davar Anodu, the Fear of Yudah, the Malach commanded Manoach to tell Shimshon that he should be Mekabel himself Nazirus when he's going to grow up. And as they state over here in the Shittum Kobetzes, by us, the Dima Masil V'ai, and as they state in the Rosh, in the second Pshat. So, Be'emez, the Fear of Yudah to Davar Anodu. So we have a third Pshat now. It's a davar anodu. Just how it could be davar anodu? Two different ways. Or that the malach commanded the father to be mazir when he's going to be born, or the malach commanded the father to make sure to tell Shimshon to make kabel on himself the thing. That's a nine thing. Oh, so 1 second. Yeah, that's the yeah. That's the first goes like the first prat in the Rosh. Yeah. Mipi of Manoach. Yeah, that's the Lefi Rab Shimon. In Rab Shimon, he learns that way. So let's understand. In this third way, what we want to learn now, the third mahalach, we have two chidushim. First of all, pshat, right? Second of all, also in the din. That's what. Well, first of all, in the pshat of the psukim, there's no remez in the psukim that we have as a Manoach or Shimshon was mekabel. Where do we find it? Manoach was mekabel Nazirus or Shimshon was mekabel Nazirus? Yeah, the Gemara fakir. The Gemara wants to say so, and the Gemara is doichet, right? As we saw over here, right? And the Gemara says Shimshon, the Rosh, and the Gemara asking the Malach, and the Torah says the Gemara is doichet. But also, if we're going to come and, you know what, we could explain that the gills of the Shittum Kubetzes, we could learn it. There's another chiddush over here, mitzad the din, because we learned over here that what the Lefi Rab Shimon, what's the yesod of Rab Shimon is, and the Nazir Shimshon is not a davar anodo, and therefore it's not chal. Lefi Rab Shimon, right? What the Rab Shimon says, lo yotzo Nazirus mipiv olov. That means it was not. And behemes we could. Oh, now if we take this, we could explain this two different problems. Lefi Rab Shimon. Why Lefi Rab Shimon doesn't work? Why Lefi Rab Shimon is not going to work? So you could say, could be that the problem is that the Nazirus is said al yidei nemala, and Shimshon and his parents never done this Nazirus, right? So it was not created by a person. It's not going to be chal. It's not going to be chal because he never done it. He never done it. So it's a davar also. That's one way to understand Rab Shimon. Why Lefi Rab Shimon? Let's try to figure out why Lefi Rab Shimon doesn't work. Why Lefi Rab Shimon doesn't work? Because he never said it. It was the Isra Nazirus, right? It was not a day of person. It was a day of malach. Second of all, we could say Lefi Rab Shimon. The problem is it's not because we don't have a mire or because of it. It's because every neder, if we take a neder of hegdash or a neder of nazirus, yeah, a person he had a thought. He's going to do a neder. He's going to be magish. Nazir Shimshon was not chal by the person he decided, right? Nazirus or Manoach or Slalfoinis, they decided. Just what it was a hero of a malach. Even if Shimshon himself, so if his father, you know what? Let me mask him with these mahalchim of the Rosh, the second chat of the Rosh, the third chat of the Rosh, that Shimshon was told by his father, what was told by the malach, or the malach commanded his father. It's not going to help to be machshivit as a nazir, it's like a davar anodo, because lemaise, I was told to do it. I was told to do it. It's not called a davar anodo. Davar anodo is I decide it's my bchira, and I decided to do so and so. If it's not my bchira because I was told to do so by a malach, maybe it's also not going to be called a davar anodo.
So it's just the second choice with the first one,
Yeah, so that passes the way we learn. Passes the way we learn is that way. There is a rayas azoi, and the Gil says what we're learning now in Tosefte. The Tosefte it's more down the lashon is shaloyotzon nazirus mipiv olov. Yeah. So what's the pshat? That Nazir Shimshon himself, he say it on himself. Mipiv olov, right? But in the Yerushalmi, it's more down a little bit different. In Yerushalmi, it's more down shaloycholo nazirusay mipiv. It's a little bit different. Depends on the slowest. How we look at it? What is the okay? Like a bechor. So you could it still has epis, but a bechor is mechuyev to be magdish. It's also tagdish. Yeah. So okay. So we had two possibilities over here how to understand it. So let's be toilet this. Also, what's the machlokas Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Shimon? Right. One possibility is that they have a machlokas if actually Shimshon or his father. How we learn the psukim say for his father or Shimshon himself was Nazir himself, and as we said, the Shittum Kubetzes state, right? In the Shittum Kubetzes it says Mefurish that Rabbi Yehuda learns that what? That Shimshon is a Davar Anodu. Why? Because the Malach told Monoyach to command his son to be Mekabel Nazirus, and that's what he done. Rab Shimon disagrees and he says, no, he would never commanded him. Guess what? He should be careful, like a Nazir. But he was not Mekabel the Nazirus. As I sagt, the Shidam Kubetzes. Another possibility we have, another way to understand it is Rab Shimon and Rabbi Yehuda have a machlokes in what we said over here, the possibilities, what we said here. If you're Rabbi Yehuda, what's the problem to be Mekabel or Nazir? A person to be Mekabel or Nazir is because he didn't say it. He didn't say it. But when a person says he was Mekabel, there's a Amire, he decided to say. But even if it happens because I was commanded, or because this, as we said, this is a Lemaisi do Amire. Lemaisi do Amire. Omer Rab Shimon understood, no. Only when an Nazirus is a person, he decided to be a Nazir. That is called a Davar Anodo. But when I was told from Shamayim, I was told by a Malach to do so, that's not considered a Davar Anodo. That's already goes under the category of Davar also. And therefore, even that Shimshon or his father were told, yes, to be Mekabel the Nazirus Bepeh, right? That was actually to start the Nazirus, to start the Nazirus. You can't start the Nazirus only if you have an Amira, because it doesn't. Or the Nazirus happened because they were told. And because they were told to do so and so, that's the Nazirus as a Davar also, and that's not considered as a Davar Anodo. And that's a Rab Shimon. And it's, you know what, let's take the idea what Rabbi Yechoel says, and it's very, very similar to Kedushas B'choyer. What the Gemara says in Kedushas B'choyer? That even though it's clear that Kedushas B'choyer is anyway, because, right, anyone that has a B'choyer Be'edroi is Kedushas HaMerechem, right? But still we said Mitzvah La'Agdisho. That means, Mitzad Echad we have a Kedusha, that's Kedushas HaMerechem, Min HaShomayim is a Kedusha. Mitzad Sheini, we still see the person still has over there a place, a Reiling. Very good. What the Gemara does in the Zirus, the Kedushas B'choyer, we understand it much better. As a Michal Techon too, very good. More than Stam, we bring over here two different Shaila of B'choyer. No, the Gemara said that it's mamish. The Kedusha is a B'choyer, very similar to the Kedusha by a Nazirus, of Nazirus Shimshon. In both of the cases, the Shaila is if the Tzivui, what the person has, Minatoire, or the Tzivui from the Malach, if the person has another Tzivui, it turns the person into the Davar Anodo, or it's a Davar also. Is it part of the person? Because Keilu I done it? No, or I didn't do it because the Maisa I was commanded to do it. So Mele it's nothing. And Lefi them Kubdo is that the Machlokes Rabbi Yehuda and Rab Shimon is in the Avona, what is the Zero Shimshon itself? Lefi Rab Shimon, Lefi Rab Yehuda, Shimshon or Monoya, they were part of it, of the Nazirus. Lefi Rab Shimon, this was something that was not a person is not part of it. Lefi Rab Yehuda, the tzivur of the malach was dafke if Shimshon or Monoyach would say it in the mouth, and that was for why to turn the Nazirus into Nazirus and to bring into the world of Nedorim, right? Into the category, into the umbrella of Nedorim. And Shimshon itself, when he was mechuyev to the tzivur, also mitzad the nether, he's mechuyev also. Oh, now lefi them, let's understand the words of Rab Shimon. Rab Shimon, when the Gemara brings, as we said at the Tosefta, what Rab Shimon says, what the machlokes with Rab Yehuda is, what's the word of Rab Shimon? Rab Shimon says, why I disagree with Rab Yehuda? Because that is exactly the answer of Rab Shimon to Rab Yehuda. Rab Yehuda was mechadeh that word because all Monoyach, all Shimshon was mekabel on himself the Nazirus. So it helps. Because once, even though it's a tzivui, but once the Amire was done mitzad who? The Amire was done mitzad Shimshon or mitzad Monoyach. So here, I'm not passive, I'm active. I have a epes chelik obich in them. And because I have a chelik in them, very good. Rab Shimon says, no, he was mamish passive in Ganzen. Lo yotos or Nazirus mipiv all of it never spoken. Shimon didn't do any peule. There's nothing to do with them. He was never meichel. He was never have the chalois of Nazirus mitzidoi of the Shimshon. This one is completely Rabbeinu Shloim, completely the malach and therefore we could not learn from Nazir Shimshon to somewhere else. Okay. Now, that is the mahalach of what we see over here in the Bavli. There's another whole mahalach in the Yerushalmi on this sugya. The Yerushalmi is Oktazoi. The Yerushalmi, so then we said over here, we had three different mahalachim, yeah? Okay, now let's see the sugya in the Yerushalmi. The sugya in the Yerushalmi is a Nazir, Perik Aleph, and then an Alocha Beis. Shtei Dazoi. Masnise de Rabbi Yehuda. The Brais of Rabbi Yehuda, the Tane Rabbi Yehuda with the hay always in the Yerushalmi. Yeah. Nazir Shimshon metame lemeisi. Shekein. Who was a Nazir? Shimshon atzmo metame lemeisi. That's you can see the Hemshach HaGemara over here. Where do we know he was a metame lemeisi? Rab Shimon oimer. Omar keshimshon lo yomar klum. The person said keshimshon lo yomar klum. Shelo yicholon neziruso mipiv. Olo. My time, if I did Kefi nidroi. We dash of the pasuk, it says in the pasuk kefi nidroi, and what we learn out from the word kefi nidroi, it's a neziru so yicholo mipiv olov. Yotza neziru shimshon, shalo yicholo mipiv olov. Elo mipi hadibur. My time, is the Gemara, ki nazir elokim yeh anar min ha-boten. That is the Yerushalmi Biggs. That it was a thing. Now, from the Yerushalmi Biggs also very, very similar to over here. The Machloikas, Rabbi Yehuda and Rab Shimon, just what? The reason that Rab Shimon is that he said that the Zirus was never Chal, right? The way the Yerushalmi brings it down. And this is based on the limud of the Pasuk. The limud of the Pasuk, right? The limud of the Pasuk. Now, before we look at the limud of the Pasuk, what's the differences between the Bavli and Yerushalmi? There's two differences between the Bavli and Yerushalmi. First of all, not like the Bavli, what the Yerushalmi doesn't mention Bechlal of Dino Dovar Anodo, Dovar also, right? We learned Dovar Anodo, Dovar also. The Yerushalmi doesn't mention it, and it doesn't depend on Machloikis of Dovar Anodo, Dovar also. There is actually by us in Chidush Rabbi Yosimche in Nazir of Dalet Dalet Beis, he does want to depend on the Yerushalmi also as a Dovar Anodo, Dovar also. There is before she want to explain it. Second of all, we see in the Yerushalmi that the svor of Rabbi Yehuda is that you can be mikabel Nazir Shimshon is very, very poshut, right? That's the pashtus. I can understand. The Bavli beings, Nazir Shimshon you can be mikabel. Chidush is Rab Shimon, right? That's the loss of the Yerushalmi. If you look at the loss of the Yerushalmi, Rabbi Yehuda is not poshut that you're gonna. Rab Shimon, that's not chidush. You need a mekor. That punk fakir for the Bavli. The Bavli we see that word. Rabbi Yehuda, Rab Shimon is pashtus, right? You can't be makil. Dover also. Shitas Rabbi Yehuda is that what we need to explain it. Right? And explain it two different ways. Be'etzem depends one another one, yeah? Because the another, also that means because the Zero Shimshon is not dependent on Dina Dover Anodu, Mimele, the one that said that it's Chal, that means Rabbi Yehuda, we understand. Or Belefi, the one that said that the Zero Shimshon is not Chal because you need it, because we don't say Dover also, so Mimele, we have to understand what's the pshat in it. Okay. Now, what is the limud? So we said in the Yerushalmi we have a limud. What's the limud? The limud is the psukim, right? So it's the Rasta Nazir and kefi nidroi asher yidoyer kein yaase al toiras nizroi. That's the pasuk what the Yerushalmi means. Kefi nizroi. Kefi nidroi. Sorry, nidroi. What Rab Shimon learns from it? From this pasuk, Rab Shimon learns that we could actually take kefi nidroi, take the neder of the person. And the nether of the person, what was the Nazirus, and he said that what this pasuk is the end of the parsha of Nazirus. What we learn over here, right? Toiras HaNazir. We start with Toiras HaNazir, we finish Toiras HaNazir. But over there, how many times we have in the Torah the Shorish of Nether over there? 3 different times. The Fear of Shimon, what means the Nether? The Nether is better. The Nazirus is a Nether, and the person has to be mekayim the Nazirus mitzad. כפי נידרו ישר נודר. לפי רב שמעון בעצם we learn כפי נידרו ישר נודר, the משמעות of Nazirus is neder, nun daled reish. That's the shoyresh, nun daled reish. That means, what is a neder? The person was mischayev. Right? Let's go back. Is the Torah linked of the mensch, or the person is a bchira, or is not a bchira of the person? Right? Is it a bchira or not a bchira? So we see from over here that what? Yes, that means that over here that we understand that the person has to be Chayav. Another raya to this that Rav Shimon Be'etzem says that the neder has to have that the Nazirus is part of the neder. We can bring from Braisa what we learned already. We learned in Daf Gimel Amud Beis, right? We learned over there that Rav Shimon says someone who says Areini Nazir min Chartzan, he's not a Nazir. And he says I'm not Nazir only from the Chartzan. He's going to be a Nazir. No. Ad Sheido Mikulam. Not like Chacham. Chacham say that's enough. It's enough to be mekabel one of these story, right? Tumet, Glachas, Yain, and even a Chartzan is mekabel in the Chartzan in order to be a Nazir. Also in this thing, what do we see in Rab Shimon Darshan that the Nazir has to be mamish another. You have to speak out everything. That means it's the ischayvus of the person. The person has to speak out. Mamish is what he wants. What he wants. Even more than that, we're going to see that the machloikas later on in the Gemara, the Yud Aleph Amud Beis, the Gemara brings the same machloikas the Gabi Torah of the Nazir. If you have Nazir that was Nishal al Chacham on one of the Isurei Nazir, and they were matir him, so the Nazir was Legamre was Hutar. If you have Shimon, no, only that Isur was Nitar. The rest of the Isurim, still, we're still going to have the rest of the Isurim. We're still going to have the rest of the Isurim. Another Raya, Lefi Rab Shimon, Lefi the Savanah Rab Shimon, that the Ikar Nazirus is a neder and a Yischaimes. We understand very good why a person could not be mekabel on himself Nazir Shimshon, because this is not something that the person was mekabel on himself. So the feed these two things what we say. Then what is be'etzem the Nazir Shimshon? We can understand that what is it be'etzem a person was mischayev, right? Nazir Shimshon. Is it be'etzem a Nazirus is koilel also all of the things what the Torah says, and Mele it's koilel in what the Torah says, but a little bit less. Or no, fakir. The Nazir Shimshon is be'etzem alidei the malach, and that's why it could. And be'etzem the malach told him to do it, right? To do so, but it could be nichlal also a type of a neder that what the person he decided as a bchira of a person he decided to be so. Now, from the pasuk that Rab Shimon brings, what the pshat ki nazir elokim I anar min haboten fakir. He brings the pasuk is the raya that what that is not something that the person decides to do. This is something that what I think Rabbi Yehuda mitzad sheni. We're going to say that for fakir. If Rabbi Yehuda, the machloikes is what is nazirus min haTorah. If Rabbi Yehuda, any nazir that's not like a neder, that means what the Torah gives a chalois on a person. Also, when the person doesn't want, and the riot is, and Rabbi Yehuda says that the Chachamim that disagree with Rab Shimon and the din of the Nazir min haChartzan, and they say that what is a toitzoy. If a person was mekabel on a Chartzan, the toitzoy is going to be also everything, and that's why it's less on the amire, it's less on the rosin of the person, and mainly the whole thing is going to be a thing. Let's be misakim mekitza what we learned over here. The first chilek we learned, right? That what is Nazir Shimshon? And the shaila is if Nazir Shimshon is different only because it's a partial Nazir, as we said. In let's say a regular Nazir is here, it's a little bit lower. Or no, that this is even higher than the regular Nazir. This is a Nazir that they got alidei malach, right? This is the two things. Then we said that this is the machloikas between Rabbi Yehuda and Rab Shimon. What is the machloikas and the possibility if you could learn out from Nazir Shimshon to other places, or you can't learn out from Nazir Shimshon to other places? Lefi the Bavli, as we saw, that what Shitas Rab Shimon is that Nazir Shimshon is not chal. Why? Because it's based on what that Nazir Shimshon was davar also. And we said that what three different mahalchim. What is the machloikas in the Bavli of Rabbi Yehuda and Rab Shimon? First of all, could be that what if Rabbi Yehuda is no din of davar also by Nazirus, although Nazir Shimshon is differently than this din. Second malach is because the Nazirus Bechlal is Dover Anodu, so also Nazir Shimshon is also under this umbrella. The Machlokes Rab Shimon is if Nazir Shimshon is something that we learned from the Torah, or it's completely something new. A third malach we learned that Nazir Shimshon is a Dover Anodu. Why? Because Shimshon or his father they were mekabel et bepe, and the Machlokes Rab Shimon is if Nazirus what happened at the Tzoy of something that he was commanded is considered a davar anodu or davar also. The divo. From here we went to the Yerushalmi, and the Yerushalmi see that the machloikas has nothing to do with the din of davar anodu. And what is oibazoi was the machloikas? Machloikas is if Nazir Shimshon is something that was mishomayim, something that from the malach, and it's doimit to Nazirus, because every Nazirus is a chalois that the Torah gives, as we learned the Ma'arit. We're going back to the whole Ma'alach, what is Be'etzim Nazirus? The ganze Nazirus is something that even if a person doesn't want, I don't want to be Chaltzanim or name the Torah linked Afilu Ba'akoch, or maybe it's different than Nazirus in the Torah, because Nazirus in the Torah is a schayim of the person that's not Kayim and Nazirus Shimshon. And that's the Machloikes of Shimon. No, it depends on the Leshitosoy of Shimon. Nazirus Shimshon. You have to be mekabel. It's a na'amire. It's the will of the person, the bchir of the person, and therefore the same like it's not the will of the person. Mashu chadash, you can't learn from it. The same like in Chaltzanim, or even in a Torah, as we learned in the Gemara in Yudalef, or definitely what we learned in Afgimon on base. Areni knows when a Chaltzanim is not going to help to be mekabel. He has to speak out because it's more like, as we said, maybe we lost some of the shoyos of neder. It's very very similar to a neder. It has to come b'toich the amire, the bchire of the person to come to do the matter. That is Bekitzer, what we learned in this Mahalach over here, the two Mahalchim in the Shir. I'm going to share. Next week we will start the Hashem, Litam Mesim. Hopefully everyone's going to be, if not here, so on the Zoom. But I heard a lot of people are trying to go. So I think, fine. Sure.
That's good.
You're welcome.